Hello and welcome. My name is Alan, and yes, this is a late video. But today we're going to watch and talk about a video from one of my favorite individuals when you want to talk about modern uh, wealth inequality in politics. Robert Reich. He is a former uh, shoot Secretary of Labor, and he's been on a number of other of the cabinet positions on the other side. So yeah, he knows what he's talking about. He's a former Rhodes Scholarship receiver, spending time at Oxford and everything. So, I mean, the guy is highly, highly, highly intelligent. He knows what he's talking about. And so that's why, if you want to use them as a source, that's one of the people I would go to first to see what's going on. But let's get into this video here.
Self-made billionaires are a myth, just like unicorns. Of course, being self-made is a nice idea. It suggests that anybody can claw their way to the top if they're willing to work hard enough. It's what the American dream is all about.
Yeah, American dream, even the lower end of it is dead. There is no American dream anymore.
Kylie Jenner can become a self-made billionaire at age 21. So can you and I. Even as wages stay stagnant and wealth inequality grows, it's a comfort to think that we're all simply one cosmetics company and some elbow grease away from fortune. Unfortunately, a nice idea is all it is.
Yeah, what is the old saying? Every American is just temporarily inconvenienced millionaire or billionaire. Yeah. That's apparently how many Americans used to see themselves. I forget who says it. I think it was Orwell, but yeah, it's unfortunately a saying that holds true with many people. Oh, but I can still get rich. No, the system's rigged.
The origins of self-made billionaires are often depicted as a rags to riches rise to the top fueled by nothing but personal grit and the courage to take risks, like dropping out of college or starting a business in a garage. But in reality, the origins of many billionaires aren't so humble. They're more like riches to even more riches stories, rooted in upper middle class upbringings. How much risk did Bill Gates take on when his mother used her business connections to help Microsoft land a deal-making software for IBM? Elon Musk came from a family that reportedly owned shares in an emerald mine in Africa. Jeff Bezos' garage-based start was funded by a $250,000 investment from his parents. If your safety net to joining the billionaire class is remaining upper class, that's not pulling yourself up by your bootstraps, nor is failing to pay your fair share of taxes along the way.
Yeah, think about that. Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft, inventor of Windows. Turns out his mother was quite wealthy and used her business connections to get him a meeting at IBM. And apparently he was going to one of these Ivy League schools and ended up dropping out to create windows, if I remember it correctly. So yeah, Elon Musk, father owned shares in an emerald mine in South Africa. So I mean, they're getting wealth from that. And then Bezos, Mr. I created Amazon from scratch. Your parents invested $250,000. Most people don't have that. Most people don't get that in a year. But they just had $250,000 laying around to give you to start off your business with. Don't give me this bull crap of, oh, I started it from scratch.
With Musk and Bezos, Michael Bloomberg, George Soros, and Carl Icahn have all gotten away with paying 0 federal income taxes some years. That's a big helping hand, courtesy of legal loopholes and American taxpayers who pick up the tab, all while our tax dollars subsidize the corporations owned by these so-called self-reliant entrepreneurs. Did you get a thank you card from any of them? I sure as hell didn't. Other common ways that billionaires build their coffers off the backs of others include paying garbage waste.
Yeah. Honestly, it should not be these giant companies that get the subsidies, that get subsidized by American taxes. It should be the low-end businesses. Your mom and pop businesses. The single store in a town somewhere that has an employee collection of 10 to 15 employees. You know, I believe it should be any businesses that make $5 million and under should be subsidized. If you're making over that $5 million mark, you haven't you've made a pretty good start for yourself. You shouldn't need the subsidies anymore. But under, yeah, I can see businesses needing that help. We're not talking these top end businesses. Even if they make $1 million, $2 million, we're still talking about mid-tier businesses. Now, it shouldn't be the same amount of subsidies, but I still think we need to subsidize businesses $5 million and below. Once you're over that point, you should be able to make it on your own. If you can't, that's your fault.
Wages and subjecting workers to abusive labor conditions. But portraying themselves as rugged individuals who overcame poverty or did it on their own remains an effective propaganda.
Yeah, look at this. The Wizard of Wall Street, the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett. Turns out, yeah, he didn't come from scratch. Howard Buffett, his father, was a businessman, an investor, and a 4-term U.S. representative. Which means his family had money, it had influence. Rags to riches stories are extremely rare. Extremely.
propaganda tool for the ultra-wealthy, one that keeps workers from rising up collectively to demand fairer wages, and one that ultimately distracts from the role that billionaires play in fostering poverty in the first place. Billionaires say their success proves they can spend money more wisely and efficiently than the government. Yet they have no problem with government spending when it comes to receiving corporate subsidies.
Yeah, see, this is what I'm talking about. Two of the richest men in the world, 2.5 billion, 3.5 billion. No, this shit needs to stop. They should not be getting these kind of subsidies. Our subsidies should, like I said earlier, it should be going to smaller and mid-tier businesses.
When arguing for even more tax breaks, they claim each dollar the government takes from them is a dollar less for their critical role in expanding prosperity for all Americans through job creation and philanthropy. Well, that's rubbish. 50 years of tax cuts for the wealthy have failed to trickle down. As a result of Trump's tax cuts, 2018 saw the 400 richest American families pay a lower tax rate than the middle class. And U.S. billionaire wealth grew by $2 trillion during the first
$2 trillion. $2 trillion.
2 years of a pandemic that was...
Yeah, the first 2 years of the pandemic, billionaire wealth exploded. Americans, the average Americans, could suffer and go screw themselves. That's how they feel. They have a very Marie Antoinette ideology. Let them eat cake. I think it was supposed to be something like, oh, they don't have enough bread to eat. And that's where the whole idea comes from. Let them eat cake. Just to kind of show how out of touch she was. Although, in true history, I believe they said that there's no proof she actually said that. But, yeah. The whole idea is supposed to show she's out of touch. So when told, oh, they have no more bread to eat, they purportedly said, she said, let them eat cake. And that's the kind of attitude billionaires and millionaires have in this nation.
Economically catastrophic for just about everybody else. They want to have their cake and everyone else's cake and eat it too. Behind every 10-figure net worth is systemic inequality, inherited wealth, labor exploitation, tax loopholes, and government subsidies. To claim these fortunes are self-made is to perpetuate a myth that blames the wealth gap on the choices of everyday Americans. Billionaires are not made by rugged individuals. They're made by policy failures and a system that rewards wealth over work. Know the truth.
Exactly. Like I've been saying, the system is rigged. And, these people who are at the top right now already had a hell of a damn start. Like I said, your average American, a true rags to riches story, extremely rare. Extremely Not to say it hasn't happened, but don't sit there and look around and expect just to find one. You'll have to do some digging. Again, they happen. But most of the people you think of, you know, when you think, oh, he's a self-made man, not so much. Not really so much. Yeah. Welcome to America. Anyway, as always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tries to tell you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting a link to the video in the description below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.